Which is better for building muscle mass, lifting heavy weights with fewer repetitions and screaming, "Yeah, buddy," like Ronnie Coleman, or going for lighter weights with more repetitions? Now, there's a ton of information available online regarding exercise, and at the click of your fingers. That's probably why it may quickly get confusing when deciding whether or not to lift large weights in your workout program. Essentially, some choose to lift large weights in an attempt to bulk up or develop more noticeable muscles, and some people avoid lifting heavy weights precisely for that reason. Regretfully, a lot of people, women in particular, still hold on to the false belief that lifting large weights will result in bulky muscles. As a result, many opt for small weights or none at all and attend programs that promote long, lean muscles instead. Yet, individuals who are specifically trying to gain size will probably choose a larger weight, whereas those who are trying to lose weight will probably remain with a lower one. The truth is that both approaches are viable. There is no right or wrong one. Lifting big dumbbells, barbells, and kettlebells will undoubtedly increase your strength. Still, you can also get stronger with lighter weights. It just might take a little longer. Obviously, when building your dream body, it will always take time. Even then, it all boils down to one crucial element: tired muscles. This means that regardless of the amount of weight you're using, the objective of your workout should be to train your muscles until they are fatigued, or until they are unable to perform another rep. In other words, you will gain strength regardless of whether you perform 5 dumbbell curls with a 30-pound weight or 30 reps with a 5-pound weight. At the end of the day, all you have to make sure is that muscle fatigue is happening. That is obviously not just chatter. Many studies have been conducted on it. According to a 2010 McMaster University study, males who lifted heavy weights until they experienced muscular tiredness, or failure, grew the same amount of muscle and increased their strength as the other group, which lifted smaller weights for a longer number of repetitions, where Morton and colleagues' 2016 investigation, which was conducted not too long after, discovered the exact identical outcomes. But because to each their own, and because some of you prefer one over the other, here's how deciding between a heavy and a lightweight muscle building regimen can help you make the right and healthier choice. See, lifting large weights and gradually increasing the quantity over time is the classic approach to growing muscle mass for both men and women. Powerlifters and many competitive bodybuilders, on the extreme end of the spectrum, combine very few repetitions with very heavy weights, 90 to 95% of their 1-rep maximum. Why is this effective? Mostly because increasing the weight you lift to between 70 and 75% of your 1-rep maximum activates your type 2 or fast twitch muscle fibers, which are crucial for fostering hypertrophy or the expansion of your muscle cells. And that's just really basic biology there. However, the possible hazard? Muscle fiber activation is correlated with the duration of resistance, and type 2 muscle fibers are more powerful but also exhaust more quickly. They will not be able to stimulate hypertrophy or muscle growth as well if they are not under tension for an extended enough period of time. And because of this, many have discovered that a more moderate approach, roughly 8 to 12 repetitions at 70 to 75% of your 1-rep max, works well. Why? Because this enables you to prolong the duration of your set and raise enough weight to increase your strength and power. Interestingly, what happens if you increase the number of repetitions you perform, roughly 15 or more every set, into the upper range? To answer that, you can lift between 50 and 60% of your 1-rep maximum at this range. Plus, this isn't really enough weight to activate the type 2 muscle fibers, which have the capacity to produce significant growth. A workout that combines more repetitions and smaller weights activates the type 1 muscle fiber, often referred to as the slow twitch muscle fibers. They are endurance-based and tire far more slowly than type 2 muscle fibers while having less power. In other words, you are still building strength when you lift smaller weights for longer repetitions. You are simply just building muscle endurance instead of strength. Longer, high-intensity workouts also provide a higher afterburn impact, which assists with melting fat for a more toned appearance and burn more calories. So, low repetitions with heavy weight typically lead to an increase in muscle growth, whereas high repetitions with light weight tend to develop muscle endurance. Of course, this does not simply mean that you must only use one strategy. For long-term success, switching between the two might be the wisest choice of action, and here's why you should believe that. Increasing the weight too quickly wears out the body, even though lifting large weights increases muscle. The new muscle fiber activation requires adaptation on the part of the nervous system. Additionally, while increasing endurance, using smaller weights for longer repetitions allows the neurological system and muscular tissue to recuperate. Now, over time, if you stick to the same workout regimen, you will inevitably reach the dreaded plateau. You stop progressing when the habit becomes unchallenging and your mind and body become accustomed to it. On the other hand, making a change offers your nervous system and body the push they need to begin improving once more. you will eventually reach a limit on how much weight you can lift or how long you can lift it for. This may lead to a breakdown in your form and an increased chance of injury. You'll also be able to maintain your progress, focus on form, and increase endurance by temporarily switching to high-rep, low-weight exercises until you are back to hitting those hefty weights. The kicker here? The good news for those looking to increase muscle and strength with minimal effort is that resistance training in any form can be beneficial. That's the conclusion drawn by a team that examined almost 200 research studies examining the impact of resistance exercise, also known as strength training, on the mass and strength of muscle. A meta-analysis that was published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine in June 2023 found that both aspects were promoted by this type of exercise, regardless of training frequency or intensity, though the advantages improved with higher exercise volume. Plus, a 2018 American Journal of Preventive Medicine study found that only approximately 40% of individuals engage in muscle strengthening exercises, including bicep curls, push-ups, and squats. This is true even though research suggests resistance training might benefit physical function and lower the risk of numerous chronic illnesses such as type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, stroke, and obesity. So, if you're searching for the best course of action, resistance training literature explains why it's time to create what specialists refer to as an optimal prescription. In essence, research on the use of resistance training to promote muscular growth and strength in healthy persons led to the development of that prescription. In 2023, the British Journal of Sports Medicine published a systematic review and Bayesian network meta-analysis of 192 prior studies that looked at the effects of upper body, lower body, or full body resistance exercises on almost 5,000 persons without chronic illnesses. They discovered that strength and muscle mass increased with each type of resistance training, whether heavy or light weights were used. Sets ranged from 1 to 3, and exercises were done 1 to 3 times per week. The investigators did find that several characteristics led to even greater progress, though. Performing multiple sets boosted muscle mass, and individuals using higher weights became even stronger. Additionally, the researchers came to the conclusion that regularly engaging in resistance training of any kind is more important than trying to optimize muscle mass and strength. The study's authors added that while some exercise is still preferable to none at all, healthcare professionals should nevertheless promote the current recommendations on muscle strengthening activities, which call for healthy persons to engage in them at least twice a week. Instead, the authors noted that their data also supports resistance exercise at less than recommended often cited levels. As for the older population, the same study says that a basic strength regimen is quite helpful since, well, even they would like to look beautiful. So when it comes to building muscle, a little bit goes a long way. Whether you want to lift weights, carry grocery bags up and down the hallway, or perform lunges or squats, ultimately the point is to find your balance between the two and go from there. If you want to achieve a Greek god physique naturally, make sure you watch our full video series where we rank the best and worst exercises for muscle building.